Let's make some predictions for NFTs in 2022. In the NFT space, with things that move so quickly, I thought it might be cool to take a step back and look at the overall picture of the space and where it might be going in the next year. So here are my there's 7 of them in here. Here are my 7 NFT predictions for 2022. The first prediction is you clicking the like button, because I believe it can really happen. All it takes is you going over and click, and then we've already accomplished 1 out of the 7 predictions. You guys already know what the second prediction is, right? Hit that subscribe button. You know where it is, you know how to click it. All right, on a serious note, let's get right into this video. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Prediction number 1. The NFT market cap and the total users or total active users in the NFT space will do anywhere from a 2 to 5x this year. OpenSea is still currently the biggest platform for NFTs, so you can see right here, this is all the OpenSea data over the last 2 years. It looks like there was pretty much nothing for a long time, and it's obviously exploded in 2021. The amount of NFTs sold is going up, the amount of active traders is going up, the amount of total traders over time is going up, and even the fees, even though I'm blocking them, are still going up. So the space is growing quite quickly, but I do believe that even though there's a rapid amount of growth in the last year, that we're going to see an additional 2 to 5x amount of all these numbers in 2022. So specifically on Ethereum, we currently have just over 1 million total users. I think between 2 and 5 million total users by the end of the year is totally realistic, and it could probably be even higher than that, maybe more like 5 to 10 million if Coinbase NFT platform drops sooner than later and is good. For monthly active traders, it's about half of that number at 461,000. And remember, this is only on OpenSea, so if you include other platforms like LooksRare and Rarible, and there's a bunch of different NFT platforms that are much smaller right now, if we include everything all together, I could see this active number of monthly traders being in the millions, maybe 3 to 4 million per month. As for the market cap or the trading volume by year in the NFT space, you can see in 2018, it's 1.3 million. The next year, it actually did a 7x to 8.6 million. Then it did another 10x to 85 million in 2020. And then you can see what happened last year. Things really blew up. I'm not even sure how much growth that is. It's way bigger than a 10x, that's for sure. But guess what? This number is still relatively small to where I think it'll be by the end of this year. It's currently at roughly 20 billion, let's say, for last year. So my prediction for the total trade volume by end of this year would be somewhere in the ballpark of 60 to 80 billion dollars. And this is actually lowballing it, I think. If things in this video, as I'll predict later on, do play out like they can, that number could be way higher. We could be talking about potentially 100 to 200 billion dollars, or maybe even more. I mean, that might be extreme, but it's really possible when you break things down. The question is, will it happen this year? We'll see. The second prediction I have for you is that Bored Ape Yacht Club, currently the number 2 overall NFT collection, I think is going to flip CryptoPunks. As you can see, CryptoPunks is still double the volume overall that Bored Ape Yacht Club is at 792,000 Ethereum. However, it has been around a lot longer, so this is not really a fair metric. When I mean flip, I mean that the floor price of Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is currently at 90 Ethereum, I believe will be higher than the floor price of CryptoPunks for an extended period of time, meaning that it'll be the number 1 collection overall. If we do just look at the highest floor price, Autoglyphs is actually higher than Bored Ape Yacht Club right now, but this only has a 512 item collection, so it's really hard to factor this in, especially when you see what the volume comparison is. I would not consider this to be the top collection because of that factor. Now, if we go and look at CryptoPunks on their own website, you can see right now that the floor price, the lowest price one, is about 69 Ethereum. So technically speaking, Bored Ape Yacht Club has already flipped Punks. The question is, will it stand the test of time? It hasn't been that long since this happened. So to me, in the next couple months, if Bored Ape Yacht Club continues to have that high floor, even if we see some crashes and some rallies, then I will consider that Bored Ape Yacht Club has fully flipped Punks. Obviously, this might not be the most crazy prediction, but it is kind of a big deal when Bored Ape Yacht Club just launched last year and CryptoPunks has been the number 1 NFT for such a long period of time. The third prediction on my list, and this is pretty much already happening, millionaires will be made, maybe even some billionaires will be made through the NFT space. Specifically, people that are buying and flipping them, investors like you and me, don't see many billionaires happening from that. However, you never know, it's possible. But definitely a lot, I would say over 1 million millionaires will be made. That's actually too many people. I would say at least several thousand millionaires will be made this year in NFTs just from buying and selling, investing, flipping, and all that fun stuff. On the flip side, unfortunately, unfortunately, there's also going to be a lot of people that are new to the space and lose a lot of money because they don't understand how it works or what they're doing, or they might get scammed, because all these things are actually happening. There are people making money and there are people losing money. So when we talk about all these great predictions and all these fun things in the videos, just always remember that you have to be safe, you have to be cautious. Scams do exist. It's a new technology, and with any new and innovative technology, there's always going to be issues at the start. You have to be very careful about what links you click on, who you DM, and all the things you're doing in the space to make sure you're not part of those scams. We want you guys to be safe and not lose your money. Back to the positive side of things, if you are one of the people that make $1 million this year in the NFT space, congratulations, because I know there's going to be at least one person that watches this video that will be a millionaire by the end of the year solely off NFTs. Mark my word. Prediction number 4. Virtual land will become truly insanely valued. I mean, metaverse land, virtual land will rival the price of truly real land in the world at some point this year. In fact, it's already close to that. If you look at things like Sandbox and some of these recent sales that are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, those prices compared to any plot of land in the real world, some of the most expensive locations in the real world. But I do believe that this is just the beginning, because there is a lot of hype right now and these prices are a little bit inflated. But I do think that the virtual land Central Park or Los Angeles or San Francisco real estate is going to be super valuable in the metaverse once the metaverse comes to fruition. And at that point, those things will be worth a ton of money. Now, will it happen this year? Also tough to say, but the fact is that some of these plots of land that are more or less not that valuable in utility just yet, because things are still being built, are being valued at insane prices. As major brands like Meta or Facebook continue to push the metaverse as its main look into the future, I think these prices are only going to get more competitive over time. I personally am looking to pick up some virtual land, and I'm waiting for a good time to buy in when prices aren't too high, but it's expensive out there. Prediction number 5. NFTs will begin to change the music industry. Musicians and the way they can monetize their IP or their intellectual property and just their music in general has traditionally gone through record labels, where they kind of get belittled by these record labels that have all the control. Well, with NFTs, the artist can gain back a lot of that control, and to be honest with you, that is the most important thing as a content creator or artist in general, is having control over your own IP and content. I believe we're going to see some new platforms emerge and new business models emerge that allow a lot of these musicians to make the choices they want to make and monetize those choices, ultimately controlling their own music and their own creative passion while also making a living off of it is going to be much more possible with NFTs. In that industry, I think the fan base being rewarded is one of the most essential and valuable things you can do. For example, think about your favorite artist. How much do you love that artist? How much do you listen to that artist? How much would you pay to go to a concert to meet that artist or to talk to that person, even for 5 or 10 minutes? I know my answer is Porter Robinson, and the amount of money I would pay to just to listen to his music and go to his concerts and support him in any way I can is a high amount of money. I mean, I've already spent a ton of time and money listening to his stuff, and I think that's the same for a lot of people with their favorite musician. If you can bypass the record labels and directly support that artist, and you know all of your money is going to that artist and rewarding you in return, I think that's going to be absolutely game changing, and a lot of that is possible with NFTs. Prediction number 6. This one I left to the end because I think it's a little bit less likely to happen this year, maybe early next year or sometime next year, but at least one major AAA game will come out that directly integrates NFTs into the game in a way that is totally undeniably confirming that blockchain gaming is the future. NFTs and blockchain gaming aren't necessarily one and the same, but they do go hand in hand in a lot of areas. You can have an NFT that's a playable character in the game, or you can get NFTs that are rare skins or rare weapons in a game, for example. Allowing the player of the game to own their items that they have in the game is going to be a major reward and a massive value add for players. We've already seen this happen in games like Axie Infinity, but I do think there's going to be more games, and specifically bigger, more popular games that are really good, that find great ways to integrate NFTs and blockchain technology into their games. Now, because these games take so long to develop sometimes, this might not happen too much this year, but I guarantee in the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to be a staple, undeniable use case of NFTs. And when I say I guarantee, obviously I can't guarantee anything, but you can tell that I'm pretty confident in it. All right, my 7th and final prediction. This is not necessarily for this year either, but it could happen. I do believe that there is going to be a point of saturation with NFTs. There are a lot of trends that change very quickly. You can see right now there's 3D art trends, and previously there was companion NFT trends, and then there's going to be gaming NFT trends, and that's kind of been happening for a while, but they take a long time to develop, so it's still happening. There's just a bunch of meta and changing trends in the space, but I think what's going to happen here is that at some point we're going to hit a point of saturation where the amount of users isn't growing as quickly as the amount of new projects and new crappy projects coming out that are trying to get into the space. I think what will happen then is that there will be a lot of poor projects that may not do well, causing the volume in the space to leave, and it'll leave a lot of projects out to dry, and ultimately those projects will die. Then in turn, all of the holders of those projects may lose trust in the NFT space as a whole and consider it to be a fad or something that just didn't work out. Take that theory and combine it with the potential that the crypto market could still have another major bull run, because right now it's obviously down quite a bit, but I do think that that bull run that we were expecting to happen maybe end of last year is still in the cards for sometime this year. And if that does happen, typically with NFTs, as crypto runs hot, a lot of the money and the volume that gets sucked out of NFTs goes back to the crypto market, and that really hurts a lot of projects and their price. If those two things happen at the same time or near the same time, I could see a major bear market in the NFT space, some calling it a bear winter, where we all go into hibernation and hold on for dear life and hope to God that the projects we invested in do not die in that winter. This is a little extreme, and I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I could see it happening maybe next year or maybe the end of this year or at some point if things all culminate at the same time in the right way. But for the time being, it's hard to see that happening with Coinbase launching their platform and a lot of new people joining the space right now. It will be hard for a bear market to really happen, in my opinion. There you have it. Those are my predictions for 2022 in the NFT and metaverse space. If you agree or strongly disagree with any of those predictions, let me know your predictions down in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts about everything. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys all next time. Have a great day.